Afternoon, I'm Adam Goacher reporting from the University of Maryland. Without using all the cheesy expressions in the book, the atmosphere here is electric. The night is getting on now and people are getting very excited. CNN are reporting it's projected that it's going to be 97 to 84 in terms of electoral college votes in favour of Hillary Clinton. She's already got a large number of her blue wall. That could help her out a lot towards the end of the night. Battleground states, they're still undecided. Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, Virginia, still undecided. They could go either way, and that could make a big decision on the end of the night. Perhaps the biggest battleground state undecided is still Georgia. The polls for Georgia closed actually at 7 o'clock, but we've heard nothing yet. That was supposed to go to Trump. That was supposed to be Trump country, but we've heard nothing at the moment. So maybe Clinton might snatch that at the end. Moving on, in terms of healthcare, I think it's going to be a big issue now in terms of who votes for who. You know, we saw Hillary Clinton got very ill actually towards the end of her campaign, before we came live here, showing you all the results tonight. She got pneumonia. I think she got a lot of people on her side when she didn't mention it. She didn't mention it. She got along with her campaign, and she managed to actually probably bring a lot of people and make her realise that she actually is working for this. So maybe that could help, and Trump tried to bring her down, but I don't think it worked too well. Obamacare, another big deal. Trump wants to scrap it. He needs the money from scrapping Obamacare to help on all the policies that he's promised, so we'll have to wait and see if he gets his way. Hillary wants to extend Obamacare, obviously. It's a great liberal policy. It very much helps her out with the government helping to fund people's insurance. So, as I said, the atmosphere here really is electric. We don't really know where it's going to go, but right now it's looking like Hillary is going to take it, as I said, 97 to 84. Sorry to look at my phone. There's a lot of information. It's very different to a British election. Yeah, as I said, Hillary wants to extend the Obamacare. It's been a big saying of hers that she wants to extend the Obamacare, and it's been quite a big deal by Trump and wanted to scrap it. Unsure why as to what, he has to scrap it, obviously, to try and get all of his policies out the door. If he doesn't get those policies out the door, who knows what's going to happen. That's going to be number one priority for Trump the second he becomes president, if he does become president, will be to scrap Obamacare. It's really a really dividing line in terms of whether people vote for them or not. Some people think of it as a waste of money, and some people think of it as a real big help. But we'll be coming towards you with later on in the night with the battleground states, Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, Virginia, and Georgia. When they get to you, we will let you know here live on USA Votes 2016 for all the updated stories here on the US presidential election.
So we're joined by our Washington, D.C. correspondent, Adam Goacher, who has the latest with what's going on over in the US.
So, Adam, could you give us a feel for what the atmosphere is like over there right now?
Hi guys, yeah, the atmosphere is quite tense, I think, at the moment. It's relatively relaxed, but it will build up. I think a lot of people are just quite curious, really, about what's going to happen when the first states go red or blue. I think then we'll start seeing a lot of concerned faces or a lot of happy faces. We'll have to wait and see.
So in terms of Washington, obviously that's where you are, is there a feel for which way it's going to swing tonight?
Yeah, it's very much a blue state, Washington. We've seen a lot of Hillary signs. We've seen some Trump signs, but they have been very, very heavily outweighed.
And in terms of the country as a whole, are you still feeling this general Hillary vibe, or is there an aspect that Trump could actually win tonight?
Well, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you look at Brexit and you look at the majority Conservative government we had a few years ago, and you think they weren't supposed to happen or they weren't expected to happen. But right now, you get a very big vibe that Hillary is going to become the first ever female president. But again, you'll have to wait and see. Expect the unexpected, I think.
Yeah, so I noticed you picked up on Brexit there. Of course, that's what we've been speaking about recently, about the Brexit effect. I guess, as you said, expect the unexpected. That's a feel which probably most people around the world are definitely feeling right now, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been travelling all over the city around Washington, D.C. and, now we're at the University of Maryland. We've had a lot of different taxi drivers. The first thing they ask us when they hear we're British and we're here to cover the election, what about Brexit? Did you expect Brexit to happen? We tell them, no, we didn't, but you've just got to wait and see. We'll see. Right now, it's too early to tell, but right now the polls are suggesting that Hillary will become the president.
And finally, Adam, before we speak to you later, what time are we expecting some of the results to come in tonight?
Well, the first poll should be closing in probably about 9 minutes at this point, and then I guess the states will turn either red or blue, depending on that. And then throughout the night, every few hours, a few more polls will close, and a few more states will turn either Democratic or Republican.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Over to you, Adam. You've been here all night broadcasting for all three platforms for us on USA Votes 2016. What do you see as the key battlegrounds that Trump's managed to build this successful election night on for him?
The big one is obviously Florida. That was massive news when he took Florida. The room went entirely silent, and I think that really turned the tide in his favour. And probably if you're looking at superstition, maybe Ohio. We read out that fact earlier on. Since the end of the Second World War, only one time has a presidential candidate who got Ohio did not become president. So you're looking at it superstitially, that, if not, Florida.
Now we're heading over the pond, I believe, to our correspondent live. Good evening, Adam.
Good evening.
Carrying on from that, Adam, regardless of the result tonight, do you think it's fair to say Trump has made, a real impact on US politics in the long term?
Absolutely, yeah. I was actually discussing this earlier on today. No matter what happens tonight, even if Trump doesn't win, he has installed his political beliefs in a lot of young Americans tonight. And I think in maybe 10, 20 years, we're going to see someone like Trump running again.
Okay, and could you give us a real idea for the atmosphere and support over there in Washington?
Yeah, the atmosphere is quite calm. Again, we haven't seen anything too unexpected. The support for Trump is, again, quite expected. Kentucky and Indiana both going to Trump. But as I said, it's nothing special, nothing crazy. It's all been expected, and really waiting for that big change, maybe that will come with Florida, that can really blow this whole thing open.
So how do you think Trump has made it this far then, as he's projected to have won 19 votes so far?
I think, quite honestly, he's chipped into a lot of people's fears about the state of their country, and he's dumped a lot of the blame on certain groups of people that live in America, and it's just worked. He's really, really, really chipped into their fear.
Okay, Adam, and from your experiences so far in Washington, is there any particular category of people that you've noticeably seen out there supporting Trump? There's been a lot of the talk about the Hispanic vote, the African American vote.
Yeah, he's got a lot of blue-collar votes, which I think is easily understandable. It's, again, not to keep going back to it, it's very much like Brexit. He's got those blue-collar voters who have lost their belief in the political system.
Okay, and do you think there's any particular reason why people are supporting Trump? Have you gauged that from any conversations you may have had in Washington?
It's difficult because obviously we are in a very, very much so blue state. I think, as I said earlier on, it's just fear. I think he really has chipped into people's fear, and people are scared to not vote for him. I feel like people think they can't afford not to vote Trump.
So you're at the University of Maryland at the moment, and what are the students' view on Trump? Since you've probably been talking to a lot of students at the moment about it, so what is their view on the whole Trump-Hillary situation?
Well, to be perfectly honest, he's not a very popular figure amongst the students. He seems to have really been ignoring a lot of the real issues that students are facing at the moment. I think most students here at the University of Maryland, at least, are very much pro-Clinton.
And Adam, have you seen any of the infamous Trump propaganda out on your travels? I know you said it was a blue state, but have you seen any of the famous red hats?
We've seen a few red hats. We've seen a few signs as well. A surprising amount of signs, actually. We actually saw some local students here at the University of Maryland trying to take down the Trump signs and being stopped by other students and ripping them up. We got handed a piece of paper earlier on, and we saw some student rip it up. He didn't want to hear anything about Trump, but we've seen a bit of his propaganda. We've seen quite a few signs, which is, as I say, quite surprising in this blue state.
And so it's forecasted a large turnout tonight. How much do you think Trump has had an influence on that, and the engagement levels we've seen across the United States and excitement building up to this monumental day, really?
Yeah, he's made it a very unconventional election and very unconventional build-up. We haven't really heard much about his politics. We've heard a lot of digs, really. It's become a who can one-up the other, and I think that's probably why a lot of young people, especially, are taking quite a big interest in this election, because it's become very unconventional.
Okay, and do you think the whole one-up, one-down vibe between Trump and Clinton, do you think that's advantaged Trump in the way that he's almost brought down Clinton to his immaturities and name-calling?
Absolutely, yeah. He's brought Clinton down to his level, and I think that's probably a mistake, actually, in the long run. If we see Donald Trump become president tonight, I think we might look at that as a mistake by Clinton. If she had just ignored Trump, didn't go down to his level, maybe it might have turned out different. But obviously we don't know for now, but he has brought her down to his level, and I think that's where Trump will thrive.